Okay, so I missed the launch day of I mean missed the launch hour of Pass of EXILE 2, but yeah, we are still in the same day, so let's take a look. So this is the announcement page, and let's go with the trailer first.
The gods caused all this, you know. After Oriath was destroyed, I traveled, searching for answers. Everywhere I went, the same divine devastation. It must end. I will end it. And no exile will stop me.
Who is she? Obviously, the engine, the new engine. We are going to see the performance really soon. A lot of new classes. It's more realistic, and in the Magnet Center, it looks good. Start very some abstract monsters currently. Now they look like some like you have motion capture, you know, like not really necessarily new, but again more modern technology. And I mean from this, you probably are not going to like this kind of game, in any game you'll be still killing things like like because it's a lot of mobs will be there for you to kill. That is what makes Pass of EXILE feel good. I think the motion capture thing is really important because the current gameplay it's just those there's a lot of new facets, skills and co-op.
This world will be reborn.
No, I'm a little
no
bit
matter
concerned.
the cost.
I'm a little bit concerned about the balance and everything. Like big game where they have time to make and yeah, let's see how on the end the performance of the engine is. I'm having a pretty old PC, so like 2017 version. But yeah, so let's see. Those insane, those boss fights, those classes, abilities. Yeah, I mean, this is just normal meaningless feedback people are giving. It's not helping a lot. But anyway, let's go back and check the gameplay walkthrough. So how long is it? Let's see.
Welcome to Path of EXILE 2. We'd like to start off by showing some of the gameplay of Act 3, one of the 6 acts in POE 2's campaign. We're starting here in the jungle depths. Act 3 is set in the ruins of the Vile civilization, which fell thousands of years ago. The jungle has taken over their former once great cities, and we'll be exploring it using one of our 6 new character classes, called the Monk. In POE 1, we had one character class for each of the combinations of strength, dexterity, and intelligence. When looking at the design of POE 2, though, we realized that many of the new skills that we were trying to design just didn't really fit thematically with the existing classes that we have. Being a spellcaster with a bear form makes sense for Strength Int, but it doesn't really sound like something that a Templar would do. We realized that since we had new mechanics for every attribute combination, it actually made sense to design new character classes to explore the new themes. In POE 2, every attribute combination has 2 classes associated with it. Strength Int has the Templar or the Druid, on Dexterity you have the Ranger or the more spare-focused Huntress, and on Dex Int you have the Shadow and the Monk. Which Mark is playing. Each class has its own 3 ascendancies that let you further specialize the class in the way that only that class has access to, but they both start at the same location in the passive tree. The quest rewards you're offered on the 2 variants are tailored to the class, but of course, this is POE. You can still mix and match anything to your heart's content. Looks like we've come across the boss for this area. In POE 2, every area of the campaign contains a boss of at least this difficulty. That's over 100 bosses to fight as you make your way through the campaign, and they all have unique mechanics to learn.
I physical damage or to kill the green boss. You go the second.
As you've seen from watching Mark
It's
fighting,
ARPG.
melee combat in POE 2 has a very different feel than before. We've done a lot of things to add mobility to combat. Practically every melee skill in POE 2 has some kind of movement built into it. But the monk in particular is a melee fighter who specializes in mobility over brute strength.
Yeah, this looks like Diablo 4. Unnecessary enough. I hope it's kind of like it's a proper build. We won't be having like this kind of engaging gameplay. It's just doesn't work for RPG. Like if you play games like Sekiro, Dark Souls, you do a good one of it. That is the game style that you want to have one, like very intelligent reflection based. That's for RPG. It's not what you want to build your character.
As Mark has been playing, you might have noticed these blue markers over enemies. Mark has a skill equipped called Killing Palm. Whenever an enemy has a blue indicator over it, it means the monster has low enough life to cull with Killing Palm. Successfully executing the cull will give you a power charge. This is an important skill for the monk, since many of his skills interact with power charges. One of the great things about the skill is that it has a built-in dash forward, which makes it much easier to target the skill at the right point when you need it.
Yeah,
We've done a lot of work in POE 2 to make using skills like this feel satisfying. If you're accidentally targeting slightly off the monster, the skill will automatically lock on to the cullable target, and will even do a...
Again, like you wouldn't care about this in late game anyway. So yeah, this is something I'm not particularly interested in. So let's take a look at that. I mean, I will probably still be watching while, you know, like doing some like work out something. But I'm not going to just stay here and watch. How do I say it? This is I want to understand mechanics, but mainly like for the end game, it's not something that in between.
You also have the Atlas map, which we use as an inventory as well as a progression map. So it's it was a very logical decision considering the size of the screen and what you have to work with on mobile. So.
Is this a Q&A section?
Select one reward.
There's only one.
This is probably
the new,
like,
I noticed that in the card game, the new transmutation art is very appealing. A lot of people on Reddit and Twitter have
mobile
been
game,
raving about it, and they're really...
I don't care about mobile game. I mean, not that I don't care, but it depends. Probably not going to sink a lot of time in the mobile games. Mobile can be dangerous and they just suck your time. So, Trail of the Ancestors, what is this?
Souls such as yours do not go quietly into the night. They thirst for battle. They yearn to prove themselves. Welcome to the halls of the dead. Earn your place among us. Under Hinikori's watchful eye, test your mettle against the greatest warriors who ever lived.
So, PvP, right.
Prove yourself in the trial of the ancestors.
Not sure the loads. It's too good, you cannot ignore. What's this? Oh, wait a second, this is POE3 about .22. No? This is something that is, I don't know. What is it? It's POE2. What's a POE2? Sorry, I mean like POE3 about .22. Yeah, it sounds like. Oh, that's a lot of new
In the end, only one can become champion.
Will
Interesting.
it be you?
It may not be PvP. Okay, that is something we definitely want to take a look. This will affect which list art, like plan I'm going to have later on. And the 12th, the ancestor announcement. This is probably going to be pretty long, but oh no.
Souls such as yours do not go
Sorry, I did the same
quietly
thing.
into the night.
Okay, so the current afterlife defeat 10 tribes. Okay, this is definitely not PvP. That's good. I don't like PvP. And we have new keystones and new chieftain, new gems. The gems perhaps will be promising. And I absolutely hate the sanctum. And if it's going to be back, so basically the reason why I don't like it is that it forces you to play a very different style than your normal gameplay. So I like to build a very tanky and doing reasonable amount of damage, kill Maven really fast, but not uber Maven, these kind of things. But Sanctum just totally ignores your defense layer you built, because you have different sort of HP. So you either play some class that is for example most of the activity classes to just outperform just out damage your opponent, or you get really familiar with mechanism, and both is the directors I don't really like. So in this way, this is suddenly not appear to be very interesting to me. But on the other hand, I totally ignored the sanctum mechanism. I just play the normal, simulacrum, this kind of things. So still enjoyable, hopefully, because the new changes. I think they mentioned the new Atlas changes. Yeah, new Atlas keystone. So yeah, so that is something I'm looking forward to, because the current way of farming is kind of a little bit I'm getting used to it, and it will be fun to explore the new mechanisms. For the chieftains of each Korai tribe participated, blah blah blah, and so if it's something going to be some really tanky boss or something, and if it's not uber boss level, that is, which is basically just erase your it's kind of the different design decision whether you want to be build something that's for example the essence monsters, you just use the current mechanism to make them do a lot of damage, make them a lot of very tanky, or you just use a lot of for example overwhelm physical damage, so that no matter how much armor you build, it's going to be gone. So in that case, classes like Juggernaut, or any classes that has 50 K armor will do basically nothing. So it depends. If that's the case, then again it's less interesting to me, because I want to play the ARPG in the RPG way, not the action way. So I'm playing, for example, I've been playing Neon. That is still RPG-ish action game, but the core is an action game. So that is the game actually rewards you by having a good strategy and a good reflection. But for using mouse and keyboard, I simply don't think that is going to be the case. I play pretty hard game, for example, Doom Eternal. So now people just play those pussy ass game like a Halo. I mean, not really because people playing game they are pussy, but basically the mechanisms that allow you to just stay there and restore as HP. So Halo or Gears of War, these kind of things. So yeah, just be a man and dodge damage. So and try to learn to aim and switch armors. I use a mechanism like crazy. So that part I don't hate. But if I have to use mouse and keyboard, I just don't want to click my left button like crazy, because my index finger, I don't think you should be using this index finger this much. And if you use a keyboard, then it's not very easy to just like I use, for example, R2 for the first move and for like E to cast my spell. So I only use last finger to cast a curse or something. And this kind of playstyle is discouraged in games like like the game that just ignore the defensive mechanism. So I'm not very happy about that. But let's see. I hope that's not the case. So in this game, in this league, the tradable silver coin, so silver coin comes back, but it's not about the prophecy anymore. So this sounds like a PvP, right? Maybe not. Yeah, the word team is very interesting. I hope it's not PvP. Because I don't want to be forced to play with people. What kind of like do we see any like a player ID? Yeah, we have a ranking. Yeah, probably it's PvP contents. Well, not that interesting for me. Okay, so yeah, so this means like a dedicated team will have very strong advantage, and if you are playing with teammates, it's yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so let's go back and see this like forbidden sanctum. So Act 10, you'll find the sanctum items. You'll find items, okay. And then it's tradable now, which is good. So now you can at least just trade them with others. And generating as, yeah, it's again, I think it's depends on the rebalance to promote more variety of mechanism. Yeah, I like the mechanism of lake. The loot was shit, but I like the mechanism so that you can build your offense and defense around the normal contents you would build. And yeah, that's it. So your primary character defense and now be able to protect yourself. Yeah, and that makes more sense. Okay, now I like it. I know that I know like the with this change is going to be good. Okay, cool. That is the thing that I like. This is yeah, I don't like PvP, but this is good. So we have several things like together, and that is good. The Child Ancestors introduce 16 key stones passive to allow the Atlas passive tree. Yeah, there's a problem that if they add a new like keystones, but without adding more points. So basically, as they introduce some like new keystones as I did before, but in general, you just have like fewer choices to make, and this is something I don't really like. I mean, arguably the respect cost is not that high, so you can still like just farm on the red altars to get the orb of unmaking. To self-sufficiently respect, but still, let's see. So allow you to double down the contents that you want to play. Okay, so double down another time. So you want to like with the radical craft about, yeah, okay. So while side area can be so while side area by plus torment souls. Isn't that still shit? You should just combine two shit at the same time. It's like two piles of shit. I mean, a pile of giant, a big pile of shit. But yeah, I hope they have like a better choice these contents. It's not something like, for example, like the remake of Bridge that was still just made things essentially worse. I hope that's not the case. And place a single gigantic explosion charge. A single charge, that is interesting. So that will have to force you to use a build that can do all around. So like elements, all kinds of immune at the same time. That is pretty intense. That's going to find, but it's also an interesting idea. And play any Kira nodes regardless of what it offers you. That is well, a lot of maps will give you Kira like. Okay, so this is not bad. So let's just see. So 200 increase explosion radius map, and 100 increase explosion placement range map. So you can basically place super large explosion additional 10 of another 10% of life missing. Number of physical service, but 200 increase radius. Is this good enough or not? I feel like that may not be large enough. So yeah, so normally speaking, can you cover everything with 4 charges? Probably not. So okay, so I was wrong. It's not really about explore everything. It's about not enough to explore everything. So you got to make your choice. And we definitely don't want to waste a single marker, runic marker if possible. So probably it's not going to be very helpful. No longer corrupted. And what does this mean? So can we use on none? So what kind of currency you can use on the wall area? You can increase quantity. Is there any? If it's a map, you can increase quantity. But what about this a side area? And even quantity, if you cut only up to like 20%, and then like reroll it to 100%, still probably not going to be enough. It has to be something else to support it. The Maven summons 1 or 2 additional bosses when witness bosses. Modifier for the final boss also applies to the summon. So in this case, hopefully we will be able to get more splinters. So that will make Maven, because basically doesn't matter, the difficulty doesn't matter. So additional bosses, it's if you can delete like 10 of them, you can delete like 13 of them, that's no problem. And the modifiers, if we can double it, then if let's say we can get double the splinter, that actually it's quite a good way to farm the splinter, and we can accept some expect some lower case of some Maven items like the awakened gems. This is very this is cool. I like this, and yeah, let's look at the item. So gain 9 inspiration, you receive a fiction, takes more damage, and more quantity. So primarily it's going to help you for the sanctum. And the Herald of Scourge of 2 additional rhythms. Yeah, this item was interesting. I think this is good. And the unique item, what is this? So it's a low level item that gives you tons of maximum life and some useless attributes, most likely, because it's rotating. Normally when it's rotating, it doesn't work very well. For this, you have just very specific, I just don't know. And here we have a lot of armor and no life modifier, seriously, isn't going to be enough. Usually you have like one no, you don't have 100, but you could have 90. So like that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and actually, yeah, 800 maximum life. It's not too bad. You do sacrifice. You do save up some of the one prefix of each item, but would you use one prefix for anyway? That's a question. Can't think about anything good, but it's definitely good for like leveling. But I'm not sure like how good it's going to be late game. So what is this? Oh, this is the tattoo thing. Yeah, this is a very good idea. I like this. So basically, the more customizable and farmable and tradable, like the more player power you have, and the player power is always going to be, yeah, for example, like yeah, something like this is definitely going to be very powerful. So I like these kind of things that can increase player power. We don't know how much nerf we are going to have, but and of course, like we are going to have this returning. Oh, this probably is how they are going to address the what's called the LOA like annoying item. So they are going to use oh, that is 70% less damage you're returning. Yeah, I think this is going to be a similar thing. That probably means the annoyment will be gone. I forgot the name, but yeah, that's interesting. And frigid bound, support skill damage shield enemies between you and the linked. Oh, I'm not sure about link skills, so not much to say here. Guard your allies. The guardian ascendancy has been revamped to bring in more to it. Bring it more in the line is the modern power level and power up. Well, this is still a team play thing, so maybe it's for our bot, but it's a good for single player. And we have our first skill grant 5%. Let's look at this. So first, this is small thing. This one, I mean, this is a single pass. So the elemental damage restore that hits still by ally between you and link target. So yeah, this is definitely a party build. So I will ignore it for now. The time of need. So every 4 seconds, remove curse and element from you. Every 4 seconds, generate 100%. So I'm not very sure about this 4 seconds mechanism. Basically, 4 seconds is a long time in POE, and you can't die in 1 second or something. So even like if every 1 second, that is not generally it's not really good. Every 4 seconds, it's useless. So we are going to look at how the other streamers are going to say about this. If you attack recently, you and the ally have 25% to block, 25% to block, and to yeah. So this is I think it's all about skill. I mean, by itself it's not super weak, but still it's not super strong. You need some very specific skill that you're going to like attack and cast spell like every 4 seconds. So yeah, it's another party thing. And now the big one is grant armor you to 25 to reserve the mana. So that is around 1,000, and which means 250 armor to you and ally. So and grant maximum 10% you reserve the mana. So that is again going to be like 100 energy shield, unless it's you're stacking mana. So our bot build that is super good for for our build because our bots because we can scale a lot of mana, but yeah, not a single player. And again, yeah, 5% increase your current life mana and energy shield to your allies. So does that mean like one single arrow will give you 5%, and for our bot you can that's a lot, but only works for our bot. Well, our bot is buffed a lot. I don't like this, but I mean a lot of people will like this, but I don't know like this, but it's okay. I don't mind like how the class and I don't play get stronger. I really care if my favorite class get nerfed. So this is no big deal for me. And yeah, Sentinel of Radiance, I don't know what it is, and basically just more tanky. And like an elemental relic. Again, this is rely on ally. So yeah, it's just the like the Aurobot thing. So now let's take a look at the Chieftain. Is the last one? No, not really. Okay. So yeah, here we have enemies you kill have 5% of explode and a lot of life damage. So low chance to explode, but very high damage but they have to be killed by you. I can see this works for some build. And for this, is nearby enemies have no fire resistance against the damage of fire. So this is value stationary. So of course, it doesn't work for Retro's fire because it will be moving all the time. But for fire trap, you do stand there and throw a trap, and they do have like ignore the you do have like fire resistance to be ignored. And it's they have no fire resistance, and I assume the exposure will be added on top of that. So probably they will have like a negative fire resistance. That is pretty good in terms of bouncing. So this is some really good note. It's almost I think this is actually as better than the elementalist build, which gives you like a minus 25 like a percent of like elemental resistance, because for boss you would expect like something like 50 something. So this is a better note than that. And for this, recoil 10% of damage by your totem as life. So this is a totem build. I probably wouldn't care about this. So this has here it's another one. So here you have 9 unique draws, cost increase and decrease for other damage types in the large radius to be transformed to apply to fire damage. Okay, so this is some like mid game thing and this kind of a trade league thing. So basically, you will be able to more efficiently allocate more fire damage. Very straightforward damage buff. And if any defense buff, I'm really looking forward to defense buff, because damage buff actually these two are pretty good. I mean, this is really promising. This is a meh, but maybe good for mapping, but I don't know. So here we have level 20 blah 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 manual attack, and then like I don't know what this skill is. I'm going to look. And skill from equipped armor are supposed by level 30 ancestral call and fist of war. So the body armor have 2 more links, and we do need to know what it is. So firstly, they are looking at also this Val Slam. So probably a specific build, and you have to use a Val Slam for this build. I mean, like sorry, slam or like strike skill. So we can use leap slam. But the thing is, what this skill is. So tall has chosen. Do we have this right now? Tall has chosen. What is it? Still grant Chieftain ancestor novel. So what is this? Triggered when you use a slam and summon. So for 3 second duration is good. Every like slam for every 3 seconds is acceptable. Trigger this skill when you attack blah blah blah, and blah blah blah, and then like cannot repeat. So what does this do? I'm not seeing it. So you will get like a mirror Chieftain. Is that what it is? So you get a mirror Chieftain. Yeah, so you get a mirage, and then you have more damage, probably. Yeah. So just increase of damage. It's pretty straightforward. It's not and it's like only going to be like for attack. So ancestral call, for this skill. So for your armor, you will have so melee strike only. I don't know if it's bone shatter counts as is. It's pretty like it's pretty famous. Sorry, not famous. Very popular build right now. And they have like some increased attack damage. Target 2 additional. Yeah, this is probably some like very specific skill, and I'm not familiar with, so I'm not going to look at it. People will explain this to me later. And the modifiers to fire resistance also apply to cold and lightning resistance at 50% of the value, and affected by ignite. So this is defensive node, and you basically need to stack fire resistance and also solve your like problem. So this is definitely a trading thing, and there could be some unique to help you to stack a really high fire resistance, and also make more things to do more things other than just like get your capped at 75%. I'm going to check that from others. And modifier to maximum fire damage of that too. Yeah, so this is again, this it will give you, okay, so this by default will give you just by stacking fire res, and give you the very high number of fire resistance. So okay, so if we have to grab 2 defenses here, this will be the 2, and this 2 probably is not going to be the one to be chosen. So this is good damage, and this is one candidate, and we can choose this from here. So this will give us like a very high elemental resistance and good damage. The question is that is it going to be enough? Because physical is the most important thing, like in terms of like defensive layer in this game. So I'm a little bit worried about it. So the way that the Juggernaut, for example, like Juggernaut, it stacks the armor and also apply 2 elementals, and that works. And if it's like a necromancer, so you stack a very high block rate with Aegis Aura, so that you have super high regions, and that also works. But here, how are you going to solve the physical problem? I think there's probably some unique that helps you to use your fire resistance to manage your physical damage, but I need to look it up. But that's my guess. I think people mentioned that before. And become a champion. So you have host a boss kill event. To enter, you will need to create a hardcore solo self-fun player in a league and race to kill all 7. Nah, I'm not going to do that. It's a streamer thing. It's a streamer thing. Okay, cool. So these are a lot of cool changes. Unfortunately, we don't have any details, but Chieftain is definitely something that is very interesting. I'm going to look into it. And your supporter pack, what kind of supporter pack we have? So really, yeah. So we will have let's take a look.
The Shade series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Stygian Waypoint shackles visitors to your hideout in chains, including yourself. These chains are just cosmetic though, and break as soon as you move. The Sarcophagus back attachment imprisons an unspeakable evil that struggles to break free. Nearby monsters send it into a frenzy at enemy deaths provided with souls to feast upon. The Ferryman's armor set is so full of trapped souls that some of them try to escape. Moving while wearing the boots will leave souls in your wake, trying to break free. The Infernal Portal opens a gate to the Nether Realm when you approach. This prompted internal discussion about whether using Hellfire to heat your hideout is safe. The Demon-bound crafting bench allows you to enslave a malevolent entity to craft items for you. Be warned though, it has a sharp tongue and will mop you mercilessly.
You shamed me for such a paltry use.
The Nebula character effect causes items you pick up to orbit you in an ethereal cloud of loot.
Yeah, this is like I don't like this, but it's interesting. What is this?
The Disciple series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Hero's Landing finisher effect summons a marble statue from the heavens to execute unique.
Yeah, no, like yeah, not really my thing, but yeah, some good stuff. And I heard that the beta will start soon. So yeah, looking forward to all these changes. And yeah, I'm going to maybe do some workout while checking out this video. But yeah, overall it's very promising, and hope you guys will enjoy the game after like 1 week and 2-3 weeks. So see you next time.